Welcome everyone to the World Blitz Team Championship 2026. On the right of your screen is the top Indian Grandmaster Praggnanandhaa, and on the left is Oleksandr Bortnyk. Now Bortnyk is a big blitz specialist. In fact, his rating is higher than that of Praggnanandhaa. He's rated 2711, Pragg is 2698. This is going to be an exciting clash. Pragg playing for the team of Chess Gurukul, while Bortnyk represents Scholastic Annie Chess Hong Kong. The players are ready. It's 3 minutes plus 2 seconds increment, handshake, and off we go. Bortnyk opens with d4, Pragg goes e6, and he waits and plays e4. We transpose into French defense now, knight to c3, and Pragg takes his time. He can take the pawn, he can play knight f6, but he goes for the winawer with bishop to b4. Bortnyk enters the main line territory with e5, and now the main move is to question the bishop on b4 with a3. He takes, pawn takes, and many lines. Knight e7 is the main line here. There's also queen c7. Pragg goes for the more active queen a5 and parks his queen on a4. It's a very interesting place for the queen because it keeps looking at the a4 square, but also it's a bit misplaced here, you can say. Queen b1 played with the idea of bishop b5 check, pawn to c4, closing it down, h4, and now knight c6, h5. Bortnyk is well prepared. He's making space for his rook to join in the game, and Praggnanandhaa has slowed down here. He goes bishop to d7. One of his ideas here is to long castle. By the way, taking this pawn would be a mistake because the queen here would be not so well placed and the c2 pawn is hanging. So rook h4 played by Bortnyk, and now long castle by Pragg. Wow, very interesting. Just look at how the pieces are. The queen on b1, the rook on h4, the king on e1, long castle has been done, dark squares are a bit weak. Many facets in this position. And that's the reason why Bortnyk slows down here. He's trying to assess what should be his plan. Should it be to go rook g4 and put pressure on the g7 pawn? Should it be something else? He goes rook g4, Pragg quickly goes pawn to g6. And now rook f4. He attacks the pawn on f7. A very cool move here for Pragg is to go f6, takes, and rook f8. Trying to win back the pawn and opening up the position will be in Pragg's favor. But I wonder if Pragg will do that. Bortnyk has 2 minutes 18 seconds. Pragg has 2 minutes 14 seconds. He goes rook f8. Bishop comes out to e2. But this is not the best move here, because now g5 is a very, very powerful strike that Pragg has. He can go g5 and then h6, solidify the structure. The rook would be, he plays g5. The rook now has to move, but where exactly? I mean, if you go rook g4, I have f6 as a move. Rook f3 is so misplaced. So right out of the opening, Pragg gets an advantage. And Bortnyk, you can see there shaking his head. Rook f3 is not a move you make happily. h6, just guarding the pawn on g5. It's no longer hanging, and a big break is coming in with f6. Once f6 happens, the e5 pawn is not so well placed. You have to take. My knight joins in. Knight can enter e4. Rooks are connected. Everything is great. Pawn to g4 played by Bortnyk. But f6 now. Pragg. He plays f6. Good move. One thing that is working for Bortnyk is the fact that Pragg cannot take the pawn. The rook on f8 is hanging. So queen b2. But Pragg is so quick to spot this move. Rook h7 to f7 is what he wants to do here. And Bortnyk long castles. Well, that's not a move you make happily. Rook f7 played. And yeah, this is looking quite bad. He's also down to 1 minute 20 seconds. Shaking his head there. Pragg is on his way to victory. Already it feels like it. And The time gap is also increasing. He takes on f6. Knight takes f6. Quickly taken. The knight is jumping into e4. The rooks are doubled on the f file. The knight and bishop are well placed. The king is also fine. What a position for black. I mean, if such positions you get through French, one would keep playing French all their life. Rook e3, and now Pragg can jump in. Knight to e4. Well, knight to e4 attacks the pawn on f2 thrice, but there is the move f3. So Pragg does go knight e4, f3 quickly played. He takes on d2, rook takes d2, and now maybe the queen has done its job on a4. So queen a5 with the idea of queen c7 and coming on the other side of the board. And look at Bortnyk there. He's like, okay, bishop d1. He has to survive. Queen c7. And Pragg is all ready to enter in with queen g3, attacking the knight here. Rook goes to e2. It's like white is trying to make those little moves to survive here. There's just no other way. And now if Pragg goes queen g3, then there is rook e1 defending. So in a way you can say that Pragg has a great position. He's ahead on the clock. You can see he has more time. His position also looks great, but there's no way that he can deliver that killer blow. So he goes rook f6 and rook f7. I mean, how do you even play these moves quickly as Pragg? That's a question to me. But okay, one idea could be that you want to swing the rook over to b6 after pushing e5 at the right moment, so that there can be a potential attack. But for now, Pragg just waits. King d2. Okay, Bortnyk may want to run with his king here. I doubt if that would work. But okay, king d2. Or just keep the king on d2. a6. This is a lovely move. King b8. And why is this lovely? Is it might seem like a nothing move, but it prepares knight a7 to b5 as a maneuver. By the way, e5 is possible. D e5, knight e5, rook e5 and rook b6. You lose the queen. This was the idea with which Pragg actually played his rook to f6. But now, will he play e5? He has 40 seconds. Bortnyk down to 16. One of the things that really good blitz players do is they don't collapse. They defend very well. Knight a7. And that's what Bortnyk is doing. He's putting a lot of pressure on Pragg by not letting him break through. Pragg gets his knight here. He wants to attack these pawns. If you push a4, the pawn will become weak. So king a2 defending here. Maybe come here, queen a5 to put pressure. Knight d6 he goes. Queen b4. a5 pushing the queen away. The queen goes back. Knight to c8. Ooh, he's now maneuvering the knight to a4. Rook e3, knight jumps to a4. Great chess here by Praggnanandhaa. Queen c1. And now e5 with the idea of rook b6. Seems like a great plan. He goes bishop c8. Pragg being slightly indecisive there. Giving Bortnyk some defensive chances. But what defensive chances? He's just so passive. Queen d6. Rook e5. Rook c7. Oh, Pragg not even sacrifices a pawn. He's going this way. Rook c6, rook b6. He has 27 seconds. King c1 trying to run away. And he enters in with b2. Bishop e2. Queen b6 comes in. And now Pragg enters b3. Rook comes and defends this. What defense? What attack? Pragg needs to break through, but his time is running low. He's down to 24 seconds. Bortnyk on his last few seconds defending like crazy. Queen b1 offering a queen trade. He takes the pawn, enters in queen b5. Now looking to come here. He goes here and the a5 pawn hangs. But now rook b2 is queen trap with b6. Can Pragg spot it with just few seconds on his clock? He's going to move the queen. Oh, finds rook b2. Incredible. And Bortnyk is like, where should I go with my queen? There are just no squares. And he's like, oh my god, how did Pragg even find this? And queen trap. Bortnyk resigns. What a game this was. What a game by Praggnanandhaa. Truly, I think this is peak Pragg. He played the opening well. He broke well in the end. He also found this incredible resource with just a few seconds on his clock. I really enjoyed this Blitz game.
Freedom begins with a choice. In 2008, we made ours. Freedom knows no borders. Step by step, we became part of the global financial system. In 2019, we went public on NASDAQ. In 2024, we built a digital ecosystem. Fintech, lifestyle, telecom, everything comes together in one unified digital space. Today, freedom is a system that shapes markets. $2 billion in annual revenue, $9.3 billion market capitalization, 11 million customers, 11,300 plus employees, 230 offices worldwide. Freedom begins with a choice, and every day we make it again. Freedom Holding Corp. One ecosystem, many possibilities.